Hello and welcome to Canada, and we're back. We've had a little break and we're back here at Canada. Great circuit, one of my favourites. We see we've got an overcast day today. We'll have a look at the grid in a second. Let's just have a look at the track. Just look out for the just after the speed trap there, the wall of champions, the chicane, and then turns 3, 4 and 5, downhill chicane. Plenty of incidents normally here. Here we go with the starting grid, and we've got Max Verstappen from Oscar Piastri on the front row. Here we go, a second row, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, all Mercedes. Lance Stroll in 5th, with Leclerc 6th, Perez 7th, Tsunoda 8th, Albon 9th, Fernando Alonso there in 10th position, Magnussen 11th, Sainz 12th, Ocon and Gasly 13th, 14th, 15th, Bottas 16th for Norris, Sargent and Hulkenberg, then Zhou and Ricciardo. Always have to go through them really quick. Lando Norris, that's going to be his new name. Anyway, yeah, overcast, could see a bit of rain, maybe. I guess we'll see. And everybody's just getting ready now. You see the driver's standings, Fernando Alonso leading, not by a lot though, and with that poor qualifying from both Fernando and Lando Norris, big chance for Max Verstappen to do something today. Lance Stroll with a good qualifying, needs to help out the Aston Martin team. As you can see, they're third in the constructors. They need to just be a bit better together as a team. Anyway, here we go. Lights out. We're underway. We do have Alonso come back this week after a technical issue at Monaco, and that's a great start from Max Verstappen. Not a great start from Oscar Piastri down into 3rd, George Russell up into 2nd as it stands. As you can see, she came down the hill, easy to end up in a wall there, or even end up with a time penalty. Already 1.1 seconds between Max and George, that's quite the gap. And it's been a great start from Max Verstappen. Let's have a look here from Fernando Alonso's point of view. Got away really quickly, through on Albon. Perez and Tsunoda in front, really tough. He's going to get through, just about staying in front of Albon, but no, still in 10th position. Quick off the line there, not a lot of room. There you see Perez absolutely flying past Yuki Tsunoda, and again, unable to hold position. Tsunoda just squeezed him out a little bit. Back live now, and as you can see, Max Verstappen 1.2 in front of George Russell. There's a battle for second between Russell, Piastri, Hamilton, Leclerc, Stroll, Tsunoda, Perez, Albon, all within DRS. DRS will be enabled on lap 2. Someone near the back there going through on, I think that's Logan Sargent on Lando Norris actually. Norris down in 17th position. Terrible start for Lando. Needs to get a move on. There's Max Verstappen. What a first lap that was. 1.7 seconds in front already. Looking very strong. We are on board with Lance Stroll, down in 6th position, lost 1 place at the start, but if he can hold on to that 6th, he needs to just stay within DRS here. I think he's just about managed that, yeah. So there's a closer gap ever so slightly, and gives him an advantage over Tsunoda and Perez behind him, also Albon and his teammate Alonso. You can see Hamilton going through on Piastri. Piastri now down to 4th position. Started 2nd on the grid. Really struggling. Now down into 5th. Got the inside line. Yeah, just about holding on there, but Leclerc fighting back and has managed to take the place. So Oscar Piastri down to 5th position. He's going to have a go through the final 2 corners here, but loses out again. Loses out to Lance Stroll. This has been a disastrous lap here for Oscar Piastri. Side by side with Lance Stroll over the start finish line. Lance is just trying to get in front enough. It's going to be difficult, but he's done it. Wow, Oscar Piastri down into 6th position there. Lost out in sector 3 around the hairpin and down that long straight. And we're only on lap 3. He's gone down from 2nd position into 6th. As I mentioned, a disastrous start to the McLaren driver there. There's Sergio Perez in 8th position, chasing Tsunoda. Alonso in 10th, chasing Albon and Perez. It's very close between these guys, and someone's going to make a move at some point, you would expect. Lando just holding position, but this is to the advantage of Max Verstappen, with Norris in 16th, not scored any points as yet, as Leclerc goes through on Hamilton, and Fernando only getting the 1 point so far, makes things really difficult for them, and it gives Max, as I said, a big advantage. Alex Albon in the Williams doing a stellar job here in 9th position. Excellent stuff. Well, it's quite quick laps here at Canada, so we'll have 35 laps. It's quite a, it seems like a long one, just on the number of laps, but as I say, it's always quite quick to get round. There's Fernando getting really close here. He's going to have DRS. I think Albon is 2, so difficult for Fernando to make the pass right now. He's having a little look, but no, not close enough. It's difficult when the guy in front has also got DRS. Tries to go down inside. Oh, and there's a touch. Oh, on Fernando from Alex Albon there. We'll take a look from the point of view of Albon. Yeah, don't think there's any blame laid on either driver there. They're coming together, but hopefully Fernando's not incurred any damage. And Alex Albon has dropped out of DRS of Sergio Perez, so he's going to be in trouble there. Fernando using the grass slightly there. Hopefully, as I mentioned, no damage. But, he is under a lot of pressure from Kevin Magnussen now. He does have damage on his, maybe side pod damage, maybe front wing. It's going to be very costly, and only to the advantage of Max Verstappen. Quite a big coming together between the two. Fernando stayed out, so maybe no damage after all. Looking at the top now is Lewis Hamilton, closing in on Charles Leclerc, who's dropped to 3 seconds back from George Russell, who's also 3 seconds back from Max Verstappen. So big gaps at the front already. To Lewis now, he's got a good opportunity. He's very close, less than half a second Don't think you'll get past here. This is all about setting himself up for the straight after the hairpin. Around the chicanes. Yeah, managing to stay within 4/10. Here we go, around the hairpin, and let's have a good exit. Lost a little bit of time there. In the dirty air, of course. Here we go, he's going to start closing the gap. He's got the DRS. Didn't get as close as I thought he might. More DRS here, but no, not going to get close enough. Must have a better exit there. Oh, and actually Leclerc, massive lock-up, and Charles Leclerc has lost out there, down into 4th position. A lapse of concentration there from Leclerc, and a lock-up has cost him 3rd position. We've got a Mercedes in 2nd, a Mercedes in 3rd now as well. And Leclerc has it all to do. Credit here to Lance Stroll, who's managing just about to hanging on to 5th here. Oscar Piastri's having a real go at him, but Lance holding his own at the minute. You see George Russell in 2nd. You can see the gap to Max. Max is cruising at the minute, but so's George. Really, he's a bit in no man's land. There you can just about see the car in front of him and just about see the car behind him. Not a lot in it though. So let's see if Leclerc has a go. Hamilton doesn't make the same mistake. There's a World of Champions on the outside there. Oh, very close. He was doing a lot better job there. Fernando's managed to bring it back close to Albon here. Albon doesn't have DRS, so definitely a chance for Fernando to make a pass. Has to be careful though. He has got Magnussen and Sainz behind him. There you go, there's Magnussen and Sainz both attacking. Seems like Fernando's losing a little bit in, down the straight. Could have side pod damage. It could be affecting his aerodynamics. See more as the race goes on. Look at Alonso cam, it doesn't look like he's got any damage. He's getting very close though to Alex Albon here. Not quite close enough. It's a really short DRS sector here at the start-finish stage. And he's managed to get through this time. And he's got to get a move on. He's 2.3 behind Perez. Let's have another look at the pass here. You see, we've got the super high def, super slow-mo cam. Fernando trying to make making this time the pass that he tried to make the last time. But this time he's made it stick. He's going to be in trouble if he doesn't get a move on, because he's got 4 cars behind him, all lined up, ready to make a pass. They will all have DRS. Have that extra boost, and yeah, he needs to open the gap. He's got it to 7/10 already, so 8/10 now, so that's pretty good. Look at Yuki Tsunoda, who's under a lot of pressure from Sergio Perez, but he's had a great start, Yuki, to keep it in 7th position. Not quite getting DRS though, so that gives Sergio Perez a chance. See Piastri having a look on Lance Stroll here, not quite able to get through. Lance doing a pretty spectacular job of defending. Leclerc and Hamilton are side by side again. So there, yeah, you can see there. Leclerc having a look. I don't think he'll try and pass down the chicane. That's pretty dangerous. Not a lot of room there. It's quite a tight track anyway, Canada. There are opportunities to overtake, but there's certain sections where I definitely advise against it. The strategy will come into play here. I expect, what, 15 laps on the mediums, maybe 20 on the hards, maybe 16, 19. But we'll have to see who's going to be the first to pull the trigger, so to speak, on their pit strategy. Got to be careful going into the pits, by the way, here, as it looks like Tsunoda did manage to defend there. It looked like he was going to lose the position to Perez. Right now, Perez got the inside line. He's just about in front, Perez, but Tsunoda's going to squeeze him out. Perez not going to have enough room going into the chicane. He's going to have to back out, and he has backed out. But yeah, the pit stop here is quite a short pit lane. You've got to be careful on entry, because there is a chicane there, and if you go full clip into the pit, you could end up smashing it into a wall. So definitely have to be careful there. All this battling, by the way, between Yuki Tsunoda and Perez has allowed Fernando Alonso to get close now. Gapped Alex Albon and done a really good job there, getting over 1.5 seconds in front of Alex Albon. Now Fernando's looking forwards rather than behind him. He's looking to take Perez and Tsunoda when he can. It's going to be difficult. Perez obviously in that Red Bull. I'd say the car's performance is better. And we've got Zhou here. Oh, and that's engine problems for Zhou. And that's the end of his race by the looks of things. Really struggling. Going around at a snail's pace. Yep. Moves off to one side. And unfortunately for Zhou, that will be his race over. Managed to pull over in a safe position, so it doesn't look like there's going to be a safety car, as Stroll and Piastri again having a battle here. Piastri not able to make it stick though, as Lance Stroll holds on to 5th position. We're looking at Yuki Tsunoda at the minute. That battle between Tsunoda, Perez and Alonso. They're just going quick enough to Alex Albon's not going to be a problem yet. Ooh, almost a touch there from Fernando on the back of Perez. Checking just to see if there's any spots of rain. It does look very, very overcast. And if Canada, it could come at any minute. I think Fernando can be any closer without passing right now. It's gonna, as I say, it's going to be difficult for him though, just based on Perez having DRS. Negates Alonso's DRS. And yep, you can see Fernando kind of stuck in 9th position right now. Funnily enough, his best bet probably at this stage would be for Perez to go through and pull out a 1 second gap on Tsunoda. Then he can get past and catch back up to Perez. Extremely technical track this, Canada. It's not one for the faint-hearted. It's a quick track, but yeah, very technical. As you can see with the chicane, it's very easy to make a mistake. Very easy to exceed track limits here too. This may be the most important corner on the track, because you have to, because of how long the straight is, you have to really get a good exit. Otherwise you're losing out big time. As you see, again, Perez gets right on the back of Tsunoda, but not quite close enough to make the pass. Is he going to try it here? He's going to have a go. I think he's about got it. He's gone down the inside, a little corner cut there. Again, Tsunoda holding that inside line into the chicane might be enough just to keep him in 7th position, but no, Perez has gone through this time. We'll look from the point of view of Yuki Tsunoda. Ooh, with a touch there on Fernando. I think Alonso might have slight front wing damage. He's managed to get through on Yuki Tsunoda and pretty quickly as well, so he's done well there. Checking, is that front right end plate, has that been damaged? Certainly looks like it. If so, he's going to have to pit in at the end of this lap, take those hard tyres as long as he can, and he's going to lose out on the wing change. It's definitely got damage there, and that's going to be it's going to be costly. Let's see if he comes into the pits this lap or whether he stays out. No, he's coming in, so Fernando in, and while Fernando's in the pits, let's just remind you, you can subscribe to the channel, it's free and it helps us out loads. Also leave a thumbs up, leave a like on the video, it's very much appreciated as always. You know, without you guys, the viewers, we wouldn't be doing this as regular as possible. You guys make the channel what it is, so thank you to you lot, everybody that watches, that tunes in, whether it just be for one race or whether it be for the full series. Of course, you can also check out our vodcast, our video cast. We've got 2 episodes out. We've got another episode coming out very shortly as well. These things from the channel, we're looking to expand all the time. Lots of new content on the way, and also lots of new content being dropped in the last couple of weeks too, as we see Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc in the pits. Everybody starting to make those changes. Lance Stroll temporarily at least will be up to 3rd. Max Verstappen is in the pits as well. So Russell, Piastri and Stroll have all stayed out. And McLarens do like an alternate strategy. We've seen during this season already, we do like to do that. Alonso into 15th now. 9 signs. We're a bit of an uphill battle here for Fernando. That wing damage not done him any favours. Here we are, Hamilton, Leclerc. Verstappen managed to come out in 4th position. That's great news for him, because that also means that both Hamilton and Charles Leclerc are going to have to get through traffic before they can get to Max. He's directly behind Perez, and one would imagine that Perez lets him through. Doesn't make too much of a problem for Max here. You see Max pulls out, and yeah, he's going to go through. Perez goes into the pit, so gave Max the DRS, just give him a little boost, and then moved into the pit. Lance Stroll now, and he was in 5th position. Still Piastri, Ocon and Gasly all to yet to pit. Also Lando hasn't put in yet, so we have to see where he comes out when the pit window is closed and everyone has pitted in. You see there Fernando right on the back of Stroll, so it looks like that early pit stop from Fernando, he's done himself a few favours here. He's out in front of Sergio Perez and Yuki Tsunoda. He does have that fresh wing on, and looking pretty quick. Trying to get past his teammate. That was a really good stop from Alonso and the Aston Martins. It was always going to be difficult too, you know, with those extra few seconds. The undercut working really well. Now it's just a case of getting those tyres to last the rest of the race. Just a little bit too far back on Lance to make a move. More and more drivers pitting in any minute now. We will see the true positions as Fernando does send it down the inside into turn 1 and manages to get through on Lance Stroll really cleanly. Lance doing a good job there, leaving enough room for his teammate, which is important. Don't want to get into an incident with your teammate and potentially cost you both points. Good work from Fernando Alonso up to 10th position. As I mentioned, there's still quite a few cars at the front. There's Oscar, Ocon, Gasly, Lando, all still yet to pit. Possibly Carlos Sainz as well. This could be a blessing in disguise for Fernando Alonso here. That he had to pit in a little bit earlier. You can see still no movement from these at the front. Going very long. On hard tyres, but still, yeah. The Russell and Gasly side by side. Russell manages to get through. George, of course, was running second in second position. He's quite far behind Max now, but he has a decent gap on Leclerc. He's still got to get through that traffic. You see him there at the back of those 5 cars. It's headed by George Russell. Now he's got to get past Esteban Ocon. Ocon with those old tyres, you'd expect this to be pretty routine for George. As Verstappen now goes through on Piastri for first position. Next George. Just pulling to the left there. Easy pass. George up to 3rd position. Maybe net P2. Piastri yet to pit in. I think now with 16 racing laps to go, I think maybe at the end of this lap, any time now, those guys on the hard tyres will be coming in. You see Charles struggling to get past Hamilton and Norris. It's just costing him a bit of time here. George Russell already a second and a half in front of Esteban Ocon. So not just every lap, really, every corner even that Leclerc can't get through is costing him huge amounts of time. George 2 seconds up on Ocon now. Of course, Max with an 11-second lead. If you take Piastri out of it, he hasn't pitted yet. You're going to see some coming in. Yep, that's Lando coming in. And yeah, Esteban Ocon has come in too. So Fernando Alonso moves straight up to 8th position. Stroll up into 9th. Looking a bit better from Alonso's point of view, for sure. From where he started. Unfortunately for Lance, he's lost a place to his teammate. But we'll see when everybody has actually pitted in where the Aston Martin drivers are. I'm looking at the Alonso cam, it still looks like he's got damage on the front right, on the right hand side of his front wing. So just keep an eye out on that. Managing to hold position pretty well though. Maybe didn't change the wing. You can probably see it in the top right corner there. His car, you can see on the graphic, is green, apart from the right hand side of his front wing. He's managing to hold pace really well, so there's no need for him to, I guess, change the wing if he's managing to keep up. As you see now, he's up to 6th position, Stroll up to 7th. He's kind of holding these guys behind him up a little bit, Fernando. He's getting a little bit closer to Sainz. Not really, he's not getting closer, but he's not getting any further away. Sainz has the advantage of DRS, of course, will have that extra boost of speed, whereas Fernando doesn't have. It's very difficult for Fernando to get around some of these corners. He's managed to get it down below a second. Even temporarily, might just be enough. Some DRS. It's going to be a sweet relief if he gets it. He doesn't though, not this lap. As, Carlos Sainz has now come into the pits. Puts Alonso up into 5th. Lance Stroll back up to 6th. The Aston Martin's actually having a good weekend here, despite a mixed bag in qualifying. Excellent from Lance in qualifying. Done really well these last few races. He's really stepped up his game. Pretty poor from Fernando's point of view, but you can always count on Fernando to be quick during the race, that's for sure. Leclerc getting really close to Hamilton again. We saw this earlier in the race. It looks like everybody now has made their pit stop. It took until lap 23 for it to happen. But look how much Sainz has missed out here. He's down in 15th position behind Norris. But he will be on medium tyres, so he's probably going to have a good shot of making up some positions. If you can get past Lando pretty quick. Lando will be on the mediums too, but slightly older mediums. Leclerc now looking to try and get through on Hamilton, but not quite able to. Hamilton doing a good job defensively. Of course, this will be helping his teammate George Russell out no end. So good stuff from Lewis. As Bottas in the Sauber has dropped down to 19th position. It could be a race ender from him, or it's at least a big incident. To see if the director has got that, but look at that, he's already 6 seconds behind Hülkenberg. He's gone all the way down from what, 13th position to the back of the pack there. Not a good day for the Saubers, not a good season for the Saubers. As expected, one of the slower cars on the grid. Don't know if anybody thought that was going to be any different. There we go then. Leclerc having a look. Hamilton just positioning his car perfectly there, where Leclerc's in 2 minds which side to go down, and hasn't really got room on either side. And can't make the pass. These guys battling has allowed Fernando just to close the gap a little bit. Still a chance here for Fernando to get a podium. It's going to be very difficult, of course. As you see just down that straight, just with Charles Leclerc having that extra pace, not just because of DRS, but because he's in the Ferrari too. Makes things very, very awkward for Fernando. Just looking at Leclerc and whether he can make that move. He just can't get close enough. That Mercedes in the straight line looking very quick and doing more than enough to keep Charles Leclerc off him. Bit of a lock up there from Lewis. But still manages to keep the position. Carlos Sainz just putting in the fastest lap of the race. Right on the back of Lando. Battle for 13th. They need to get a move on and start moving up the leaderboards. We've only got 10 racing laps left. Here comes Perez and Piastri on Lance Stroll. Fernando could do his teammate a favour here and give him some DRS. It'll be difficult now for Lance to hold these guys off for the rest of the race. Well, as I mentioned, he's done really well so far, so maybe he can. Home Grand Prix as well for Lance. Here comes Perez. Yeah, managing to get through. And, unfortunate there for Lance, not able to hold the position. Down now into 7th. Well, you would expect Perez to be quicker, and Piastri to be fair. So Lance still doing a good job for the team. In a good position too. Just behind Perez there, so when he gets into those DRS zones, he will have a good chance of gaining that position back. And on Fernando now, I think he's managed to get. Is he going to get DRS? He's so close. I don't think he's quite within. Is that the detection line? He might just have got it there. Certainly trying his hardest to get on the back of these two in front of him. No, he's not quite got the DRS. He dropped back to just over a second. And that's a time penalty for Fernando. Oh, and that's going to be very costly. As you can see over the chicane. He's took too much there. Bouncing over the corner. Look, he didn't go into the wall of champions, but that is going to be a time penalty for Fernando Alonso. Going to lose out on a few places. From the end of the race, that's very unfortunate. And probably ruined his day. Had a really, really good race so far. Fernando's done a great job to get up to 5th. Got all that good work. Being undone by the penalty. We've seen this in previous races from other drivers. It can happen. And unfortunately for Fernando, it's happened to him this race. We see Max Verstappen now over 13 seconds in the lead from George Russell. An insurmountable lead. He's been from the very start. He's looked to class above everyone else, and will be looking to regain the lead in the Drivers' Championship. He's doing a pretty good job of it so far, let's be honest. Leclerc still right on the back of Lewis Hamilton, but just not able to get through, not able to make the pass. And Lewis looking pretty solid. You've just got to keep this going for another 6.5 laps-ish. And he will secure that podium for the Mercedes. We'll have to see if he's able to do it. It's going to be close. I expect these to be going all the way to the end. Fernando a lot closer this lap. Obviously, that time penalty is doing him no favours, but he can just pull away as much as possible to the guys behind. It might just be able to hold on to a place or two, despite having the penalty. He's got a 2-second gap to Perez. Lance Stroll hasn't been able to get past Perez, but having DRS has meant that he's managed to stay in front of Oscar Piastri, who has probably had the worst race out of anybody right now. I mean, maybe Joe would argue that he's had a worse race because he's DNF, but no, definitely in terms of his starting position to where he is, Oscar Piastri started on the front row of the grid, down into 8th position. It's a disaster of monumental proportions for Oscar. Also for the McLaren team, who are looking to win that constructors title. Not able to do it though. There we go. Let's see. These three again. We move up to Fernando Alonso, who did have DRS there. He's managed to close the gap. Now the gap 3 seconds between Alonso and Perez. I'd be interested to know whether that was a multiple track limit warnings penalty, which would be 3 seconds, or a straight corner cut, which would be 10 seconds and make a huge difference. If it is just a 3, then he does have a chance of holding position here, 5th position. I don't think he'll be able to bring out enough of a gap, even if he managed to pass Leclerc and Hamilton. But saying this, all this with wing damage, as you can see, yep, still that front right end plate didn't change the wing, and managing to hold this position is a stellar effort from Fernando, and I think all credit where it's due, despite the penalty. It's been a very good race for him. Clear now, as close as you can get without being able to pass, really. And he's going to have to back off a little bit again. No room around here to pass. Just going to end up in tears for yourself and the guy that you're racing against. So yeah, difficult for Leclerc. So I'll just drop back to 4/10 of a second from Perez, but it's close enough, definitely close enough. We'll still have DRS, able to close the gap once again, and of course that's keeping him in front of Oscar Piastri. There we go again, round the hairpin. What sort of exit are these guys going to have? Fernando's had a decent exit. Leclerc's had a very good exit. Closing that gap really quickly on Lewis, but again, not enough. Lewis stays in front. Kind of the story of the race here. Don't always have to see a million overtakes for it to be a great race, and it has been a great race. What we've seen here from Lewis Hamilton is world-class defensive driving. And he's also doing a great job for the team, keeping Russell nice and clear in second position. So full credit to Lewis Hamilton. Again, Leclerc getting really close here. He needs to get a better exit out of the chicane. It's out of the hairpin. It's difficult. He's going to be in dirty air. He's going to drop back a little bit. As you see there, Lance going around that hairpin. You're going to drop back a bit coming out of the corner. But he's managed to stay relatively close here. Not close enough for a pass though, unfortunately. You can see he's having a cheeky little look. Got to be wary that Oscar Piastri will want to make a move if he possibly can. So he doesn't want to overly risk it here. Lance, 7th position would be a very good finish for him. Alright, he qualified in 5th, but still, with the cars around him, doing very well. I call him Lance, the People's Champion Stroll. Always want to see him do well. As I mentioned before, this is his home Grand Prix. Actually, normally does score points here in Canada. Let's have a good record here. Okay, really too far back this time. I think that's quite easy to see. We're on lap 35 of 35. It's gone really quick, this race. It's been very intriguing. It's been an exciting race. Just not in first position, it hasn't. Max Verstappen has absolutely dominated. You can see 15 seconds is the gap between Max and George Russell in second position. It's a bit of a procession for him, but he'll take that. He'll be happy with it. He's just showing once again why he is the world champion and why he is the favourite to retain that championship this season. Here he is, coming down the start-finish straight. Through the chicane, past the wall of champions, and it is going to be a race win for Max Verstappen. Here comes George Russell. As we've just missed something there. Yeah, Leclerc has managed to get through on Hamilton right at the death there. And Alonso will be 5th, Stroll 6th, Perez 7th. And Piastri 8th. See the replay. There you go. Leclerc left it as late as possible. And Lance Stroll too managed to get through on Perez. That is some awesome overtakes at the end there. So 5th and 6th there for the Aston Martins. Ended up being a really good day for them. Driver of the day, Fernando Alonso, can't really argue with that. If we had a reverse of that, worst driver of the day, that had to go to Oscar Piastri. What a disaster for the McLaren driver. But there's Max Verstappen coming to collect his trophy, and he fully deserves it. 15 seconds between himself and George Russell. Lewis Hamilton did a great job for the team, for Mercedes, but unable to hold on to 3rd position at the end. Oh, here we go. All 3 drivers will now celebrating. And yeah, great stuff. Charles Leclerc will be delighted with that as well. There we go. Now you can see the current driver standings. Fernando only 5 points clear of Max Verstappen. Lando dropped back a little bit there. Good weekend for the Red Bulls in general, and for the Aston Martins too. Managing to hold third position and close the gap on the McLarens in second in the constructors. So very good. So just before we go, I'd just like to thank everybody for tuning in, and it's always a pleasure to commentate on these races for you. Hopefully you enjoy them as much as I enjoy commentating on them. Don't forget, you can leave us a like on the video or subscribe to the channel, both for free. And there'll be a link in the description to buy me a coffee. That always helps us out. All proceeds from that go to improving the channel. So we will see you next time for the next race. Don't forget, check out our video cast. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. It's funny, it's informative. I'm sure you'll love it, and we'll see you next time.